laboratorio ang hindi nakapagsumite ng kanilang datos. Sa bilang na ito, nasa higit na 72,000 ang active cases. May 52 namang naitalang namatay para sa 55,146 na kabuang bilang, habang higit na 6,000 ang nakarecover para sa higit na 3,514,000 total recoveries.
10 rehiyon na sa bansa ang nakapagpabakuna ng mahigit 70% ng kanilang
It's been a while since this drone has been out on the market, and in today's video we'll talk about my long-term impressions of the DJI Mini 2, pros and cons, and whether you should buy one in 2021. Hey everyone, this is Mike. Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, join the squad, and I hope you have a great time on this channel. So the DJI Mini 2, one of these drones that you just cannot neglect. And why is that? Well, we have 4K video, we have 3-axis stabilization, we have OcuSync transmission technology with a great range, 30-minute flight time, and it's sub 250 grams. What's not to love about it? There are of course many things that I do love about this drone and a few that I don't really like, and we'll talk all about them in today's video. First, let's start with the usability, as I think this is probably the biggest strength of this drone. The fact that it's so tiny and portable means that you can literally put it in the pocket of your jacket and put the remote in your other pocket of your jacket and go fly. That's all you really need besides your phone, and you're good to go. You don't even need to take out your backpack. You can just take this and have a 30-minute flight wherever you go, and it's that simple. Normally when I prepare to go somewhere and shoot, I carry my big backpack full of gear, full of many things that I carry with me. Here the only things I need is just the drone, the remote, my phone, and occasionally some ND filters. So pretty much that's everything I need for a flight with this drone. How crazy is that? I just love the fact that it's so portable, so usable. Pretty much anywhere you go, you can take it with you and it shouldn't be a problem. So that's something that I definitely appreciate. The usability factor is huge when it comes to the DJI Mini 2. Now let's take a closer look at the camera, because the 4K quality is something that I definitely enjoy. At the beginning, I have to be honest, I didn't expect it to be that good, especially coming from a DJI Mavic Mini 1. The camera was not ideal, so I was expecting it to be just a slight upgrade compared to that. Well, it was not the case. The 4K quality of the Mini 2 is absolutely perfect for your daily needs and uploading videos on YouTube, and I think many people will have trouble identifying this drone compared to, let's say, a Mavic Air 2 or even the Mavic 2 Zoom, for example. You will have trouble identifying which drone is which. The camera is that good. Of course, if you're pixel peeping or you're comparing two images side by side, you will see some differences, but that's not the point. The point is that the 4K quality is not only good enough, I would say it's just as good as any other DJI drone from the middle section of their lineup, and I'm just fine with the quality. I wouldn't say it's bad. Of course, I wouldn't use it at nighttime, for example, but when you have plenty of light, the quality is just great. When it comes to color grading, you don't have a flat color profile. This is a feature that has been reserved for the bigger, more expensive drones that DJI has to offer. However, I still think it's possible to color grade this footage in a way that, you know, lets you add your little creative touch to it and makes it look a little bit more cinematic. So personally, I think this is not an issue for most people. Every time I record videos with the DJI Mini 2, I add my own LUT for it, and the results are pretty good in my opinion. So I wouldn't say the lack of flat color profile is a deal breaker for me, especially considering the price. To improve the video quality by introducing some natural motion blur, I use ND filters from Freewell. These are the ones that I usually use, and for the most part I either use the ND16 or the ND32 depending on the light. If you're not sure how to use ND filters, it's really simple, but if you don't want to deal with manual camera settings, you can still put, let's just say, an ND16 and leave the camera in auto. That will make sure that your shutter speed is a little bit lower, so you'll have less stuttering and more natural motion blur in your footage, while still having the automatic camera settings applied to your footage, so you don't have to worry about it at all. I would have been really happy if DJI released ND filters for the Mini 2 and put them inside the Fly More combo, for example, so you can have filters designed for the Mini 2 from DJI coming in the package itself. That would have been a little bit easier. Now you have to go and buy them separately, and I'll leave a link in the description if you want to buy the Freewell ones. Before going any further with this video, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey, with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people on topics including illustration, design, photography, video, freelancing, and more. It's curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads and they're always launching new premium classes, so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. If you're into tech, I'm sure you've heard about MKBHD, and he happens to be one of my favorite creators on this platform, and he recently released his own Skillshare class, and best believe I took that class because he talks about his success on YouTube, how he made it, his little secrets that he wants to share with us. And it's very interesting to hear from the man itself and hear somebody that is so successful share some tips on how to improve on YouTube. So this is just one of the 1,000 classes that you can find on Skillshare. The first 1,000 of my subscribers who click the link in the description are going to get a free trial for Skillshare Premium, so you can start exploring your creativity today. Now let's talk about the range a little bit, because my first impression of this drone, and especially the range, was quite bad. I think I was close to an obstacle that was really making my signal go very bad, because I was having tons of problems in my very first flight. However, after trying out the drone in a couple of different environments, I saw there is nothing to worry about, as OcuSync 2.0 has been rock solid ever since, and I haven't had any issues with my signal, successfully pushing the drone more than 4 kilometers away during my range test. And for my regular flying, I never go that far anyway, so even flying in urban areas has been a very successful experience for me, so I really haven't had any issues ever since that first negative impression. So all in all, this drone definitely steps up very massively from the DJI Mini 1, the original one, which has been pretty bad in terms of range, and now I definitely feel a lot more comfortable pushing this drone a little bit further away, even in urban areas, and I can still rely on the signal strength. Of course, one of the things that this drone has been advertised for is the improved wind resistance. And you can really notice that, especially if you're coming from the original Mini 1, because here you have a lot more power to battle the winds, and the stability during your flight, even when there are super strong winds, is just great. Don't get me wrong, this drone is not a complete powerhouse that will sustain all sorts of winds, but for the most part, it is a massive improvement compared to the previous model. Another thing which I quite like is the improved design of the propellers, and because of that, the drone is also a lot more quiet, which is always a positive thing for me, and I do enjoy it a hell of a lot more. When it comes to the battery life, I'm quite used to owning different Mavics, and all of them have a rough flight time of about 30 minutes, give or take a few, and here it's no different. Usually you have a guaranteed flight time of about 22-25 minutes, depending on how much sport mode you're using, how much wind there is, and what you do with the drone itself. But in my tests, for the most part, 22-23 minutes is what I usually get with this drone, depending on how I fly, which is pretty good for me. And also keeping in mind how small the drone is, and being able to keep up with the bigger drones like the Mavic Air 2 or the Mavic 2 Pro, I think this is pretty great. And I really don't have that many things to complain about when it comes to the DJI Mini 2 because it's quite the perfect drone in this segment. For the price you pay, you get a lot of features. You get the 4K quality, you get the stabilization, you have the great range and the battery life. And there aren't many things that are missing on this drone. You have to keep in mind this is a entry-level drone that is perfect for people who have never flown before or just looking for a nice piece of tech that they don't have to register, they don't have to get really deep into so they can create some great looking shots. For me, my personal experience with the Mini 2 has been very positive, and for the most part I find myself taking it when I have a lot of other gear inside my backpack, but I just want to have a camera drone with me to snap some photos, maybe some quick videos here and there, and I take it with me because I know it's not going to take too much space and I know it will give me good results no matter what. And here comes the question that we need to answer in today's video. Should you buy a DJI Mini 2 in 2021? My answer is yes. If the price is a factor for you and you don't want to spend as much money as the DJI Mavic Air 2 for example, or the Air 2S, or even the Mavic 2 Pro, I think the DJI Mini 2 is a great option that will not only allow you to capture great shots, but it will show you what having a drone is if it's your first ever drone, and it will let you see if flying a drone is something that you enjoy or not. There are so many people who buy drones, fly them a couple of times, and then they never leave their shelf afterwards. So why spending so much money on a more expensive, bigger drone if you've never flown before? It's better to get your feet wet with the DJI Mini 2, see how it is to actually fly a drone, and if you like it, you can always get to the bigger drones afterwards. So that's pretty much it, guys. This is everything that I have for you. Please don't forget to like the video if you have enjoyed it, subscribe for more videos like this one, and if you are extra generous today, hit the notification bell so you're notified every single time I post a new video. This is Mike from Drone Supremacy. Take care everyone, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.
You see, we edit a lot of videos every day, so we don't get much time to answer emails or write long proposals for clients. Until we found Grammarly. With just one click, we can correct any embarrassing spelling mistakes. And if our emails look like long scripts, we turn on clarity suggestions to remove unnecessary words and to keep things short and simple. Like us, if you worry that all your emails sounds the same, simply go to vocab suggestions. It will replace repeated words with something far more effective.
But wait till we show you how easy it is to use.
Hit download and add it easily to your daily life and browser, whether it's Safari, Chrome, or Firefox. Go to Grammarly.com.
You created a business. Now, create videos for your business, easily and instantly, with Vimeo Create. Video to help you show off your products and bump up your sales. With hundreds of pre-made templates designed to get your videos performing their best. Plus unlimited stock clips, custom animations, and smart editing tools to help make your message pop. Just share your videos, get views, and watch your business grow. Start making video with Vimeo Create.
Hey guys, today I'm going to share 10 things you may not know about your DJI Mini 2. That's actually way more than 10 things, but I'm going to call it 10. Anyhow, let's get right to it. With the flick of a switch, you can embed telemetry data into your Mini 2's video files. Well, in video mode, go into Settings, Camera, and turn on Video Subtitles. Once you do that, flight and camera data will be embedded in a subtitle track in all your video files until you turn it off. Camera settings include aperture, shutter speed, ISO, exposure value, and digital zoom, while telemetry data includes GPS coordinates, distance, height, horizontal, and vertical speed. You can access this data using a free online extraction tool or an application like VLC. If you want to know more about it, I did a whole video on it for the Mini One, which works exactly the same way. Link is up here and in the description. One of my favorite remote control features going back to my early DJI Spark days is Flight Pause. On the Mini 2's controller, Flight Pause shares the same button with Return to Home. Press and hold that button to engage Return to Home, or use a quick tap to immediately pause flight. Flight Pause will not only override a full throttle joystick position, it will also immediately stop all automated flight modes, including Return to Home. So it is definitely a good one to keep in your back pocket for those moments when you just need your Mini to stop doing whatever it's doing. You can start and stop the Mini 2's motors with a joystick movement called the Combination Stick Command, or CSC. Pull both joysticks down to the inner or outer corners until the propeller starts spinning, then release the sticks simultaneously. Repeat the same move to stop the motors, or if you use the default joystick mode, holding down the left joystick will also stop the motors. Now, there is one more trick I like to call the nudge. While holding the Mini in your hand, if you start the motors using the Combination Stick Command, all you need to do to get the Mini to take off and hover in the air is just give it a slight upwards nudge. Of course, if you're going to do that, be very mindful of those spinning props because they will do damage. Getting the battery level of the Mini 2 or the remote can quickly be accomplished by tapping the power button on either device. If you have the two-way charging hub, inserting a battery into the hub or tapping the power button on the side will show the charge level of all batteries in the hub. Mini 1 batteries are fully compatible with the DJI Mini 2, so if you have a Mini 1, you can use those batteries in your Mini 2 for some extra flight time. Of course, though, the Mini 1's batteries are much heavier than the Mini 2's, so if you do fly with them, the Mini 2 will not be a sub 250 gram drone. Mini 1 batteries are also less expensive than the Mini 2 batteries, yet provide about the same flight time. If flying with a sub 250 gram drone is not that important to you, picking up some extra Mini 1 batteries for your Mini 2 is a great way to get some extra airtime while saving a few bucks. And finally, the Mini 2's two-way charging hub charges both Mini 1 and Mini 2 batteries, and in a pinch can also be used as a power bank to charge your other gadgets. The gimbal's normal pitch range is from 0 to 90 degrees. If you go into Settings, Control, and turn on Allow Upward Gimbal Rotation, you are able to tilt the gimbal up by an additional 20 degrees. Another handy gimbal trick is to set the function button to recenter gimbal by going into Settings, Control, and choosing Button Customization. I like to set a double tap to be recenter gimbal. Then when I double tap the function button, the gimbal quickly moves from 0 degrees to 90 or 90 to 0, depending on the starting position. And one more trick, if you tap and hold the main DJI Fly screen, a circle appears underneath your finger along with a slider showing the gimbal pitch. Sliding your finger up or down will control the pitch of the gimbal. On the main flight screen of the DJI Fly app, most of the items you see around the edges of the screen can be touched to reveal even more information. Tapping the GPS status icon reveals the number of satellites and signal strength. Tapping battery information reveals useful details including time until return to home. Touching the system status bar allows you to adjust the return to home altitude. Touching the icon in the bottom left-hand corner will expand the map or the attitude indicator. And finally, tapping the micro SD card information toggles between number of photos or video recording time remaining and the available capacity of the SD card. If you want to use manual white balance to get consistent color in your video footage but are a little unsure how to get started, no problem. There is a simple trick. When you switch from auto to manual white balance, the color temperature value is reset to what the camera system thinks is the correct white balance setting for the Mini 2. You don't need to know anything about how white balance works to get a good starting value. If lighting conditions change, just switch back to auto, then back to manual to reset the white balance to current conditions. Even if the color is not 100% perfect, at least it will be consistent, and that makes it so much easier to correct in post. The Mini 2 can zoom in up to 4 times for video and up to 2 times for photos. Simply tapping the zoom button toggles between the available levels of zoom. If you hold your finger on the zoom button, however, a slider appears and the zoom level can be adjusted by dragging your finger up or down to zoom in or out. An even better way to do the same thing is to hold down the function button on the remote and then use the gimbal dial to zoom in or out. This I find provides a smoother and more precise level of control. And if you combine a video zoom with forward or backwards drone movement, you can achieve the dolly zoom or vertigo effect. It takes a bit of practice to get it right, but when you do, it's a pretty cool visual effect. The Mini 2's all-new controller is awesome in so many ways, but one big advantage is its large battery, which means more time flying and less time charging. It also means there's plenty of extra juice to keep your smartphone or tablet charged while flying. Just go into Settings, Control, and turn on phone charging to keep your device topped up while you fly. In photo mode while using auto exposure, you can set your exposure from a particular spot on the screen by touching it with your finger. Spot metering stays in effect at the selected spot until you touch it again to turn it off. Spot metering can be very useful in certain situations where you want to make sure your subject is properly exposed. And one final camera tip: when shooting photos, you can choose between a 4:3 and 16:9 aspect ratio. My advice is to always use the 4:3 aspect ratio because it uses the full sensor. The 16:9 aspect ratio crops that image down to 9 megapixels. By using the 4:3 aspect ratio, you get 3 million more pixels to work with in post. And that's it for this one, guys. I hope you learned at least one new thing you didn't know before. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And yep, you guessed it, I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Doble tibay ang Bear Brand Sterilized. Tumutulong laban sa pagod at sakit.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Here it is, DJI Mini 2. This is the Flymore combo. This is going to be the flight test today. Take this out, set it up, give you like a real-time setup. Today is going to be all about an in-depth test of the Mini 2. Remember, they're not calling it the Mavic anymore, so it's kind of hard for me to keep remembering that. Little drone mat, launch pad. I got my little flag here so you guys can see how much wind there is. Really only about a 5 mile per hour coming from kind of the west, southwest. We're going to put this thing through an extensive test. Remember, I got 3 batteries that come with the Flymore combo, so we're not going to pull out any of the stops. We're going to do as much as we possibly can, go through all of the functions. We'll just run through everything, see how it does. So let's set this thing up and get started. I like to do these kind of real-time setups just so you guys know how long it kind of takes approximately. So I got everything totally charged up. Mini 2, of course. If you guys missed the unboxing, I did a really in-depth unboxing, setup, and also updating. Did an update. I like to show just how long it takes to update these. So if you missed that first video in the series, go ahead and check that pop-up here, up on the right, and also down in the description. We're also going to do range testing. This one has the OcuSync 2, so the range should be pretty amazing, even with some interference, and also some cinematic videos. So make sure you check out the series and subscribe so you don't miss those. Anyway, this one's got this cool little clip here to kind of hold everything together. You can see how the propellers are really loose. That was kind of the thing with the Mini 1. It had the propellers kind of getting in the way when you tried to put it away, but it looks like they kind of took care of that. So we're just unfolding it all, taking off the gimbal cover here. Nice and easy, and that thing's all set up. I believe I have a battery fully charged already in there. I have a micro SD. This is 4K, remember, the Mini 2. So I like to use a high speed in here. I have a 32 gig SanDisk Extreme Pro, I believe it is, those black and And red ones, I'll have all the gear I use, including the Mini and everything, down in the description. So you guys should check those links out. Make sure you have all the right gear for your setup. So next thing we need to do is set up the controller. So we're just pulling that out. Nice little cable tucked away in there. We got to put our sticks on, of course. So pulling the sticks out of the bottom. These screw on. Don't forget, they give you an extra set of these sticks in case you lose them in the grass or something. So that's pretty cool. And so make sure those are tight. Leave it in normal mode and we're ready to go. So we just need to put our phone on. Just make sure your cable's like in the back. And then this is the OnePlus 6T phone. I've had this for a while. It's a couple generations old, but it works great. So we're just putting it up in the front here and then pushing it up till the bottom snaps in. Let's get our controller on. So press, then press and hold till it comes on. And the lights come up. Same thing with the drone. We're flipping it over. We got this button over here. Press once, let go, press and hold. And then you're going to start hearing that thing go. And the gimbal, let's just catch that real quick. Yeah, so it boots up the gimbal pretty quick. You can kind of see it moving around to recenter. Lights are on solid now on the controller, so we know that these two are linked. All we got to do now is plug in this cable. So this is the Android phone with a USB Type-C. So plugging it in. There we go. So already got an auto launch. Keep in mind this is updated as of the end of November. So this has the latest updates. Actually, it's a new battery. Shucks. So let me go ahead and update the battery firmware. Did you see that there? I guess it was a different battery than I did the updates with. So anytime you do an update and then you have to put in a different battery, it's got to update that firmware through all the batteries, so you have that kind of everything's working together, the battery firmware and the drone firmware. So it's always good to just update your battery as well. So it looks like this might take just a couple minutes. I'm going to go ahead and let it do this. Pretty cool. They have little temperature sensors in them, so even if the batteries overheat, like say you have it on, you just flew, you try to pop it right back in the charger, that battery will actually blink and say, telling you it can't charge because it's too hot. So they do have little temperature sensors in there, circuit board that has firmware in there, so it's keeping track of the voltage in both cells. This is a 2-cell, so it's really trying to balance everything out. And they also have automatic discharge, which is pretty awesome. These batteries will discharge down to 50%, you know, after about a week. So it looks like the battery update was successful. So keep in mind, guys, if that happens, it seems like the drone just shuts off and doesn't restart. So you're gonna restart it again. Press and hold. It seems like nowadays DJI drones, whenever they finish their updates, they just stay off, so you have to restart them. I'm just gonna leave the app up and let's see what happens if it tries to reconnect with my controller on and everything. There we go. So reconnected automatically. All I need to do now is hit go fly. Awesome. And it's acquiring GPS satellite, so it's saying take off with caution. So you want to wait for that to go away. I already have 20 GPS satellites. That's awesome, up on the very top right. And I'm noticing down on the bottom right that it already changed back to defaulting at 1080p 30 resolution. We want to be in 4K. And I noticed that changed since I did an update. So I want to change that back. Press on the movie tape on the right hand side there. Boom, it's on video already. You can see how we can choose 1080 up to 4K. So I'm gonna go 4K and we're gonna do, it should already be set at 30 frames per second. Yeah, over on the left we have another menu that popped up. So we're gonna do 4K 30, which is the max that the Mini 2 can do. Start recording, so I'll have that pop up there. And for this initial one, we're just gonna take off with on-screen launch. So I'm just pressing this up arrow on the left. And then you just have to hold it to take off. So I'm going to hold in here while we're watching the drone. There it goes. So it's getting a little wind from the back left. You can see it there. It launched pretty good straight up. Only, let's see how high we are. We are only about 4.6 feet high. So it wants to launch about 5 feet high, just about. That's with about 5 mph wind coming from this direction. Let's just go ahead and give it a little walk around really close up. Man, it is so quiet. I can't believe it. You can see as I walked in front of the wind, it had to kind of adjust for the change. So we're recording in 4K. There's that ultralight 249 gram. interesting how it deals with this much wind. There's my blue light on front, kind of pulsing. Kind of interesting why they put a light up there. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. It really means a lot to me that you guys like this channel and the kind of info I'm giving and the kind of reviews I do. So really appreciate it. Thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe so you can see the entire series of this thing. And also the giveaways. I do a lot of giveaways on drones, so don't miss out on those. Anyway, those vents. So remember, that has real vents up top on the kind of eyes there. And that's what was missing in the Mini 1. Because this has an OcuSync 2, it needs more cooling. So it's doing a great job at just hovering there. We already used a few percent, so let's get started. So we're in normal mode. Let's just do a full throttle up. Get a nice view. I'm going to turn left a little bit with my controller. And we're looking at this 4K video. Just going to see really how well it takes video of this. And we're going up at 6.5 miles per hour. Letting off abruptly. We're just going to hover there for a second. Let's move the camera gimbal down. So this is the camera. I'm moving with my left finger on the roller. Looks like they just mowed the park, so there's a bunch of grass shavings everywhere. But that's how you move the gimbal up and down. It's looking good. You can also have this gimbal go up above horizon, but I don't have it set at that right now. Let's go down a little bit. Let's see if we touch the screen. Not really getting any autofocus there. Full throttle down in normal mode. And let's see how, just kind of how fast it comes down. 6.5, so the same speed. Looking good. Gonna do kind of a rotation to the right as we come down. See how it deals with this video. Letting off now. So as expected, the DJI flight controller is just amazing. Doing very good at keeping this thing stable. Seeing a little shake from the wind, but as long as you don't see that in the video, keep an eye on that video, guys. I'm just adjusting a little up and down, but as this thing's shaking around to adjust for the wind, keep an eye on that video. And just really tell me what you think in the comments. If you think the video is solid, even though we're getting some wind shake, it's good to know. Fly this thing around a little bit. There's our yaw speed, so fully pegged to the right. And that's how fast that thing's going. I'll have the video up too. It's kind of late afternoon, so it's a little dark in the picture, but as always, if we rotate this down, we can get better exposure. And you also have exposure settings there on the bottom right here that you could adjust if you wanted to. See how I just clicked on it and I'm rolling this? Or you could use manual, everything if you wanted to. You can do all manual, which is a great upgrade. So let's go ahead and fly this thing quick and normal. Oops, wrong button. So the right stick forward, full stick forward, and let's just see how it kind of maintains its height and moves around. So I'm going to come back at me into the wind, and let's just keep an eye on. Remember, this thing has no sensors. Woo! There she goes. 17.5 miles per hour going out. Let's see how fast it is kind of coming with the wind. It'll come right at me. Looks like it went up a little. I'm going to bring it down a tad. Yeah, 17.5. Wow, so it's just locking itself in even with some wind from its back. Pretty awesome. Okay, so that's how that thing is flying as expected. Absolutely perfect. We're also keeping an eye on the FPV, right guys? Which I'm thinking is going to have no issues whatsoever. We're going low now. Woo! Right by us. Maintaining its height. Let's do a turn. I always like to do these low turns if you're trying to get some footage over low objects, low to objects. You don't want it to crash into them, right? Looks like we gained a little altitude and it's dropping a little, but it's not getting into the ground, and that's the main thing. Letting off now. Real nice and easy. That stopped really quick. Let's try that again. Circle around here. Letting off now. Yeah, that was only about like 12 feet. This thing's so light, right under 249 grams. I think this one is around 242. It's even lighter than the first Mini. All right, cool. So that was normal mode. Let's switch into cinematic, and then we'll go into sport. So you can see how our yaw speed has just really gone down. I just pushed this cinematic button to the left in the middle. See how slow that is? So super slow. Let's see our upward speed max in cinematic. It's only 4.5 coming down. 3.5 or 3, if even 3.5. And so you get in this really nice smooth cinematic mode. It's called the Cine mode. And let's see how fast it can go in this mode. Full stick forward, going into the wind, 10 miles per hour. Turn around. Yeah, the yaw's like super slow, so be careful with that. This is not like sports flying or anything. So full stick forward. Remember, no sensors. It's gonna hit me if I don't move out of the way. Woo! And it's going 10.5 miles per hour with the wind. Okay? So that is our speed in all directions. We didn't really do a yaw. We didn't really do a roll. So let's try that real quick. If we wanted to roll to the right, get some cool shots. I think it goes about the same speed, 9, 10. Yeah. Let's try with the wind, rolling. Some rolling sideways shots. I just moved the yaw a little bit. Yeah, 10 mile per hour, even with, there's a gust of about 10 in winds. You can see that flag there in my hat cam. Started blowing a little harder. Cool, so that's Cine mode. We used about 44% or so already. We want to go into sport, so clicking this all the way to the right tells you on the screen it's switched into sport mode. We'll do all the smart functions after this, guys. We get all that done. So here we go, sport. Remember, this is a lot quicker, so you can quickly run into things too, right? Okay, full throttle forward, right into us. Let's see how fast it gets going. Woo! 25 miles per hour into the wind. Let's turn around. I can get going the right way, kind of discombobulated. Actually, that was against the wind. This is into the wind.
This is Kay, isang online English teacher at avid K-drama fan. This is Chong, estudyante ni Kay.
Me, like this.
I like this cheesy yum burger.
Okay,
Hmm?
I like you. And I want to meet you already.
Agad-agad?
I want you to know me better. I want to bring you to my hometown.
Matutupad na nga kaya ang pangarap ni Kay na Korean love story?
안녕. 드디어 만나네, 정.
You are even prettier in person, Kay. So, are you ready?
This is it, the beginning of their love story in Korea. Ria?
Welcome to my hometown, Kay. Dito ako lumaki. Lumipat kami from Korea nung 15 years old ako.
Yung ini-imagine ni Kay, Magkakatotoo na nga ba?
Okay ka lang ba, Kay? Eh tayo, okay ba?
那个是跟你比为。
Kay got COVID after may expose sa tita niya. Buti na lang, Chung came to the rescue. Ayaw man aminin ni Kay, may mga na-realize siya about Chung after ng mahabang quarantine.
What do you think? Predictions?
I don't know. I've got 2.0.
Yeah?
I'm going to go with my drone. I'm going to go with the Air
I
2.
think mine will beat it.
You think?
I think so. I hope so. Let's see.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. So we're going to fly from this overpass down the Nowhere Road, past the Discovery thing, and then to the next overpass. Not sure how far away that is, but we'll find out. First, going to do it with this. You got one battery left for the test, and then we're going to fly the same route with the Phantom 4 2.0. AkiSync 1 versus AkiSync 2. I like how you trust me. Thank you, Cam.
Take off.
And we will be able to fly over traffic because we're actually flying over a bridge. Hi!
Oh, the birds.
Oh,
they hate it.
Are they getting near it? Oh, let's get out of here, man. Oh, that was close.
Have you ever had one hit one before?
No, are they going after it for real?
Yeah, look at them. They're chasing it down the street.
Oh, that's no good. Let me know if I need to land.
Oh, you're cool.
We started out with a battery at 54%, man.
Did we?
Yeah.
Well, that's no good.
Do you have, I don't know if this is
No,
inadvisable.
That's not gonna cut it.
What do you think? Go or no?
I'll go and see what it'll do. We can always drive down there.
You heard him. We're going. Uh-oh. Return to home. Boy, that happened
Why is it
quickly.
returning to home?
It just stopped. It was stopped connecting.
Okay.
Aircraft not connected.
Okay.
Did a bird hit it?
No. It just died. It just died out of range then.
That quickly?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't gradually. It just.
Yeah, that's what I've run into. Now, if you don't have range, it'll all of a sudden it'll tell you it's returning to home.
Yeah, it's returning to home.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
You should get a picture here any second.
Okay. This. Okay. Wow. Okay. Tap to cancel. So yeah. All right. So that was a little over 7,000 feet. Wow. I'm going to sport mode it back. We're at 40%.
You should make it.
Yeah. I like your optimism. I don't think it'll make it, man.
You're all about drama here, aren't we?
Do you think it'll make it?
Well, we'll see.
Oh, I'm sweating. 31%. All right, Joe's still on the radio.
Joe's still on the radio. We got it.
He didn't want to be on camera, but we do have a second visual observer. All right.
Yeah, we're headed back.
I'm gonna cross the street on the bridge.
There he is.
Oh, still in sport mode. Gonna take it out. No kidding.
Aircraft will go to the home point in 10 seconds.
10. 9,
Perfect.
8. Woo. Now, what? Cancel. Cancel. There we go. Oh my goodness.
You gonna do it?
Yeah. Shwaba! Shwaba! Yeah! Oh, dude!
We've landed safely.
All right. Let's put up on the board the distance from the Mavic Air 2. There it is. And so that's the distance to beat before automatic return home kicks in. What do you think? Predictions?
I don't know. I've got 2.0.
Yeah?
I'm going to go with my drone. I'm going to go with the Air 2.
I think mine will beat it.
You think?
I think so. I hope so. Let's see.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Make sure there's no birds. Shall we do one of those up, and away shots?
Go for it.
All right, you wave and I'll do it. Up, and away.
Got everybody driving down the highways going, what the heck are they doing?
The Mavic Air 2 didn't make it to the overpass.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought
Almost.
I thought you went past it.
No, he's just about to. 6,000. I got the pedal to the metal here. It's getting a little scratchy. 7,000.
Oh.
Ah! Aircraft disconnected.
Oh!
So let's see. Well, I'll have to go back to the telemetry. I think yours may have beat it by like a couple hundred feet.
Yeah, 72.
Wow!
Ah!
I was not expecting that. Should I try? I'm gonna go up to 400 feet max and see if we can get a little further.
Oh, yeah, cheat.
What do you think? I'm not cheating. I'm just curious.
I'm gonna go down on yours. I'm gonna go up on mine. So I
Oh,
can
this
get
is science,
past
man.
you.
Science, man.
Yeah.
We'll keep going until it disconnects again, and then we'll try the Mavic Air 2 at 400 feet. All right, no cars. I can cross. Can I make it to the next overpass?
You're shaming me.
You'll have another try. Any cars coming? Nope.
Are you still watching the drone?
Yeah, I think that's going to be past where he can see, so we'll stop it at that overpass. I think I can keep going. So I'm going to turn around, come back, tell Joe I'm coming back.
Okay.
I'm sure I'm a little dot to him.
Okay, we're turning and we're coming back to you.
So max distance 13,526 at 403 feet. I'm going to zippy doo dah back. Says the remaining battery is only enough for return to home. Return home now. High wind velocity. Ah.
That's what makes this hobby fun.
Yeah, the edge of your seat. Don't know what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
Hello, friend. Oh, I need to sit down. Well, that was a surprising result.
Oh yeah.
You want to go again and try to top it, because I think at 400 feet you're going to have better connectivity.
I don't know, Ken. It's just hard to top you, dude.
That's true. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Until next time, buh.
And bye.
Nah, just kidding. We can't leave it like that. We got to give it another shot. Attempt number 2 for the Mavic Air 2 Electric Boogaloo. Here we go. No, you fly it, man.
Oh, no, you fly it.
Oh, no. All right. And away we go.
Oh, baby.
Here we go.
And she's off.
Raising it up to 400.
Okay, Joe, it's coming at you.
We want this test to be fair. What are your thoughts? Fully charged battery, attempt number 2, same height as the Phantom.
Oh.
Think it'll make it to the bridge?
Fingers crossed.
Okay. 1,000 feet to go before you blow the Phantom 4 2.0 out of the water. Let's put that magic number to beat up on the screen again. As I see a truck. We're not going to fly over him. Good. This is impressive. I remember the Phantom started crapping out near that lake up there. See if Joe can still see it.
Okay. All right, Joe, you still got a spot? All right, just keep an eye on it.
All right. You've done it, DJI. Good job.
That's about
Now,
where you were, weren't it? Weren't you about 77 when you had to turn around and come back?
Yeah.
Into the
Okay,
wind?
okay. We can't go much further. Tell Joe to let us know exactly when he can't see it anymore, because we can't go farther than he can see.
Okay, let us know when you can't see it.
You might start thinking about turning around soon. I can barely see it anymore. It's a speck.
Jeez. How many miles is 15,000 feet?
3 miles.
We needed a third spotter. Wow. Okay, it's just, I'm gonna stop at 15,000.
Okay, we're getting ready to stop it and come back your way, so.
What did he say? He said he couldn't see it anymore?
So can you see it?
All right, we're gonna turn around.
He's right there at that.
All right.
Yeah, we need to turn around.
All right, well, wow. Just wow. I didn't want to like this so much, but I do. Yeah. How much was this thing?
Let's see. With the combo, I think it was right at about 1,000 so.
And it was okay with the wife that you got this? That's a no. All right, let's hightail it back.
Yeah, look at it coming in here. Like a boss.
Like a boss.
You see that? Here's the winner. That's it.
Yeah, winner's coming in. I didn't want to like it so much. Well, there you go. Impressive.
Final thoughts?
I love it. I love it. Damn it, I love it. Damn you. Well, thanks for letting me fly, and thank you for participating in this experiment.
Oh, it was awesome.
And I want to thank you for being a first responder.
Well, thank you.
Campbell here is with the fire department.
Yes.
The volunteer fire department member. Where?
Reeves.
Reeves. Where is that?
South of here, south of Union City, about 2 miles, 3 miles.
So for our international viewers, what state?
Tennessee.
What country?
United States.
What planet?
Planet Earth.
What universe?
Oh, really?
Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Until next time, buh
and bye.
I have this in another video of mine. Make sure that the camera is straight forward, and then you can tell using perspective if you're able to go under something. So if you are able to see under the other side of the wing, then you know that you can make it. Like that. I'm getting near that wheel. In fact, I'm wheel close to it.
This is Kay, isang online English teacher at avid K-drama fan. This is Chong, estudyante ni Kay.
Me, like this.
I like this cheesy yum burger.
Okay,
Hmm?
I like you. And I want to meet you already.
Agad-agad?
I want you to know me better. I want to bring you to my hometown.
Matutupad na nga kaya ang pangarap ni Kay na Korean love story?
안녕. 드디어 만나네, 정.
You are even prettier in person, Kay. So, are you ready?
This is it, the beginning of their love story in Korea.
Welcome to my hometown, Kay. Dito ako lumaki. Lumipat kami from Korea nung 15 years old ako.
Yung ini-imagine ni Kay, magkakatotoo na nga ba?
Okay ka lang ba, Kay? Tayo, okay ba?
날개시계 니 비우에.
Kay got COVID after may expose sa tita niya. Buti na lang, Chung came to the rescue. Ayaw man aminin ni Kay, may mga na-realize siya about Chung after ng mahabang quarantine. Eto na kaya ang redemption arc niya? O huli na ang lahat?
Chong, hindi ito yung perfect relationship I had in mind. This is so much better. Kasi you're real. We're real. Aanhin ko na nasa isip ko lang kung ikaw naman yung nasa puso ko.
Okay. Sarang hai.
Dadu sarang. No. I mean, mahal din kita.
At yan ang love story ni Kay at ng kanyang perfect dream guy.
You see, we edit a lot of videos every day, so we don't get much time to answer emails or write long proposals for clients. Until we found Grammarly. With just one click, we can correct any embarrassing spelling mistakes. And if our emails look like long scripts, we turn on clarity suggestions to remove unnecessary words and to keep things short and simple. Like us, if you worry that all your emails sounds the same, simply go to vocab suggestions. It will replace repeated words with something far more effective.
But wait till we show you how easy it is to use.
Hit download and add it easily to your daily life and browser, whether it's Safari, Chrome, or Firefox. Go to Grammarly.com.
Hello beautiful internet family, Danny from DanceTube.tv, and today I've got my comprehensive comparison between the Mavic Mini, the Mini 2, and the newly released Mini SE. Now if you were to hand these drones to a random stranger on the street, they would probably have no idea what the differences are. If you look at them on face value, the drones look pretty much the exact same. The bodies are the same, the weight's the same, it really does look like the same drone. But there are some subtle differences between these three drones, and that's what this video is all about today. Now when you look at the bags, or I guess the cases that you get with these drones here, there are some slight differences between the three of them. The first difference is the Mini 2 bag looks completely different to the other two cases. So the Mini 2 bag is actually a shoulder bag that has a completely different design that resembles the Mavic Air and Air 2S bags. It's pretty much the exact same bag there. So if you're used to those types of drones and that type of kind of shoulder bag system, it's very similar. It's got 3 compartments in it that you can adjust, and you can put your controller, your batteries, and your drone in the bag. It fits comfortably. There's a fair bit of space in there actually, considering it's designed for larger drones, but it does the job and it seems to work really well. Now when you look at the other 2 cases, the Mini SE comes with a case that says DJI Mini on it, and then the Mavic Mini case comes with a case that says DJI Mavic on it. Very similar cases when you look at them. Now there were some issues with the Mavic Mini, and people were actually reporting, and I had something similar on my end, where the actual propellers were getting bent when you were putting it in the case, and a lot of people weren't putting it in the case properly. So it was this whole process where you had to make sure that the propellers didn't kind of open as you put it in the case. And yeah, it was quite easy to bend your propellers in the original Mavic Mini case. Now with the Mini SE case, the cutout is slightly different, and it seems to actually make a big difference when you put your drone in. It doesn't seem to bend the propellers like the original case did. Now when we look at the build quality between these 3 drones, the Mini SE is the same body as the Mini 2. The only difference is that the Mini 2 actually has a clickable status indicator button, where the Mini SE is the original Mavic Mini. It did have foam inserts that would actually kind of takes on the original Mavic Mini. Crazy to think, but the Mini SE and the Mini 2 have those air intakes on the front. All the footage that you'll see from the 3 drones will be in 2.7K at 25 frames per second. There will be a few clips later on in the video that are from the Mini 2 in 4K, and that's just so that I can show you what you're getting for that extra money. But I also just wanted to show you what 2.7K looked like from all of the 3 drones. I was expecting no major difference, seeing as they're using pretty much the same sensor here, and yeah, there's no major difference. It's clear that the 2.7K from all 3 drones is pretty much identical here, but you can see that big leap when you go to that 4K, which you'll see a little later on in the video. One of the more interesting things that I noticed during my test is that the Mini SE has less latency compared to the Mavic Mini. Now, when I went out in the field with my friend Ben, we actually figured out that it wasn't really a latency issue as much as it was a trailing issue. So basically, when you let go of the stick, it seems to have a trail of like a second where the drone just doesn't slow down. It just keeps turning a little bit, or it keeps moving up, or whatever direction you're putting into the stick. That input, for whatever reason, there's a trail after it. And that's with the Mavic Mini, where the Mini SE doesn't have as much of a trail. It's a lot more responsive, and it just, as you let go of the stick, it will actually stop moving. It won't have that trail with it. I don't know if that's just my Mavic Mini, but for whatever reason, the Mini SE is a lot more reliable when it comes to that controller input, and that actually makes a really big difference. I prefer that control over the Mavic Mini. They're both using enhanced Wi-Fi, which is ridiculous to me, but you know, you compare it to the Mini 2, which is using OcuSync and an improved controller system, but I would compare the Mini 2 to the Mini SE. They're both remarkably similar, where the Mavic Mini has that latency or that trail, which just is kind of annoying. It was also really interesting to see how the 3 drones handled the wind today. I know that it was actually quite a windy day, so it was a good test to see how well the 3 compared, and it was clear to me that the Mavic Mini was left far behind. It really did struggle when the wind started to hit it. I actually struggled to get it back when I was at about 50%. I was only about, maybe 250, 300 meters away, but I had to smash it into sports mode, and then even then it was struggling to cut through the wind. So that was a little bit of a heart-racing moment. But the Mavic Mini, I've always had a little bit of issues with it in certain wind conditions. It's fine on like most days, but when the wind is just a little bit more aggressive, it definitely does struggle. Now, if I compare that to the Mini SE and the Mini 2, they were both fine in the wind that I had it in today. So, it's interesting to see that that improvement in the wind resistance actually does make a big difference here. Both the Mini SE and the Mini 2 performed pretty much identically, and they handled the wind really well. The fact that they have that improved wind resistance over the Mavic Mini actually made a significant difference today during my test. And now moving on to battery life, there's really no major difference here. Great battery life on all 3 drones. I'm probably getting on average maybe 20 to 25 minutes per battery. maybe 25 minutes if I'm really pushing it and I'm flying nice and close by as I'm getting down to those, final percentages where I'm at like maybe 25% and I'm just flying nice and low to the ground and playing around with it. It seems to be fine and I'm getting close to 25 minutes with the 3 drones. So no like major difference between the battery life, and that was kind of expected. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the Mini SE is using the body of the Mini 2 with the internals of the Mavic Mini. So the Mini SE actually does have stronger arms than the original Mavic Mini. It also has orange tip over these other 2 drones. Now, it's really interesting to see that we have 3 different mini drones from DJI. They're all fantastic drones, and regardless of which one you're going to choose, you're going to be happy with it, because I've had no issues with any of the drones. They all work phenomenally well. But I think, when it comes down to a clear budget winner, like I said before, the Mini SE is a fantastic price, and those improvements, those slight improvements over the Mavic Mini, actually do make a big difference. They're like quality of life updates, but that wind resistance is a practical update that I actually did notice today during my test. It was really windy. The Mavic Mini just couldn't handle it compared to the Mini SE. So the Mini SE is the clear winner here for the best budget drone, where if we compare the Mini 2 to the other 2 drones, it's the clear winner for the best overall budget drone. So yes, it's a bit more expensive. It's not the cheapest budget drone on the market, but it is the best 4K budget drone on the market right now. The Mini 2 is phenomenal, and I love that improved range and that 4K camera. So I'd love your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will chat to you in the next one, and peace.
Something Korean, yung masarap at maanghang. Nai-imagine ko nakatatakang at feeling sa chat. Oh, I think alam ko ng tanging sagot sa aking craving. Yummy Korean spicy noodles is part of heaven. Lucky me jumbo, sarap anghang sarap naman, yeah, yeah. Lucky me jumbo, gugup sure na papago, yeah, yeah. Lucky me jumbo, Korean spicy craving sauce, yeah. Lucky me jumbo, yeah. Lucky me jumbo. Ganunood ng K-drama, nainggit ako, Korean food rin gusto ko. Hindi naman ako parang chef magluto. Yummy ang gusto ko, gutom na ako, craving ko. Lucky me jumbo, sarap anghang sarap, nakaka-good vibes pa. Saya sabayan with my fave K-drama. Lucky me jumbo, sarap anghang sarap naman, yeah, yeah. Lucky me jumbo, gugup sure na papago, yeah, yeah. Lucky me jumbo, Korean spicy craving sauce, yeah. Lucky me jumbo, yeah. Lucky me jumbo, lucky me jumbo, sarap anghang sarap naman, yeah, yeah. Lucky me jumbo, gugup sure na papago, yeah, yeah. Lucky me jumbo, Korean spicy craving sauce, yeah. Lucky me jumbo, yeah. Lucky me jumbo. Happy week.
Hello, beautiful internet family. Dan here from danstube.tv, and today I've got my 3-month later review on the DJI Mini SE. Now, is this the ultimate beginner drone of 2021? Let's find out. If you've seen my other DJI Mini SE content on the channel, then you would know that I'm quite fond of this drone. It's a really awesome starter drone, a beginner drone, a awesome budget drone for pretty much anyone out there that wants to start off in the drone space. Now, it's been 3 months on, and there haven't been any like major updates. There's been a few little software updates, nothing major, no new features, nothing like crazy exciting about the drone. But that doesn't really matter too much because the way they released it, the way they launched it, it was in great condition. It was in amazing working order, no major issues with bugs or performance or anything like that. It was just a well-polished, well-rounded drone when it hit the market, and that sentiment is still true to this day. It's still a phenomenal drone that performs as you would expect it to, and it really is the ultimate budget drone, the ultimate beginner drone of 2021. If you are new to the drone space and you're still feeling really terrified, you're really fearful of flying your drone, then I did just launch the ultimate online drone course for beginners. It's called the Fearless Drone Academy, and it's packed full of resources, high quality video tutorials, and guidance from myself, a drone expert, and I'm really excited.
Make your computer easier to use. Windows